The center position in the NBA for decades now has been one of, if not the most integral position in NBA basketball. So many greats played that role, whether it's Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, Hakeem Olajuwon, Shaquille O'Neal. So many greats. Moses Malone. You have Nikola Jokic, Joel Embiid now. But we're going to forget Nikola Jokic and Joel Embiid for a second. I don't think we realize that the center position is going to die out in the NBA very, very soon. Now, when I say die out, I don't mean that guys are not going to be 7 foot coming into the league. I'm not saying that a paint presence is still not integral for a team to win an NBA championship. But I'm going to say that the center position, as it's classically played, a guy who does pick and rolls, a guy who solely gets buckets in the post, that is not going to exist anymore, even if you are a two-way demon. And this all kind of started with the unicorn thing, right? You have Kristaps Porzingis coming to the league, European big, 7'3", but he can shoot lights out. He can handle the ball, not like a guard per se, but he can handle it a little bit better than your average center. If we go back, 6'11" Kevin Durant, who at his size probably should have been playing the center, but he can handle the ball like a guard and he has a mid-range, I'm going to notice that. Karl Anthony Towns can be dominant in the post, but also he can shoot lights out now. He has a mid-range game. I'm going to throw a name out there. Andrea Bargnani, top 10 pick in his draft, I believe. He was a guy that was a big but could also shoot. Now we have Vucevic as well, a guy who can also shoot. There's a pattern here. These big men can shoot now, but not only can these big men shoot, they're expected to be able to facilitate. Victor Wembanyama is what killed the center. Positionless basketball, when we really think about it, that is what is going to kill the NBA center. It's the same thing. The centers are going to die, and then we're going to do a separate video, but also the guard premium under 6'3". Those guys are not going to be integral to winning NBA basketball anymore. With that being said, though, I do think that the center position is going to be extremely obsolete in the traditional manner. If you're 6'11", you can get rebounds. But if you can't shoot from the perimeter, if you can't guard the perimeter at least somewhat cohesively and adequately, if you can't also, get blocks on occasion, but still be able to stretch the floor out and shoot a 3 when needed, you're not going to be in the league in terms of being an extremely integral piece to NBA basketball as a starter. These centers are expected to handle the ball like guards. Joel Embiid took the leap as a scorer when he got a mid-range, when he got a 3-shot. Nikola Jokic, he can shoot the 3. He can shoot step backs like Dirk. He can shoot mid-ranges. The center position is basically being a point center. You have to handle like a guard. You got to be able to hit that 3 ball somewhat like a guard. And you've got to still be able to be big and get in the post on occasion. But for the most part, you're going to be a perimeter guy. There are going to be guys that are going to be 6'11", 7'0", 7'1", 7'2", that handle the ball like guards, when traditionally 15 years ago they would have been in the center position day in and day out. There's going to be a lot more freedom for those guys to play basketball, but also it's going to kill the inside game. You can score a lot more points with 3s than 2s now. Why wouldn't teams want everybody on that team to shoot a 3? Right? And when we look at Shaquille O'Neal, I want to focus on that 2004 Detroit Pistons versus Los Angeles Lakers NBA Finals, because he's maybe the most dominant center of all time behind Kareem. If you look back at those highlights, Shaquille O'Neal could not guard past the free throw line. Detroit simply ran the PNR, and then they said, Shaq, you're going to have to step up and guard one of us out here. And he said, nope, I'm good. And what happened? Fried. That's what happened. Shaquille O'Neal got fried because he could not guard past the post. Nobody wants that out of a center anymore. That's why Bam Adebayo, that's why Evan Mobley, these guys can guard all 5 positions, but also they can hit middies, they can hit 3s, they can stretch out the floor. It's not a traditional big man league anymore where it's get buckets in the paint, stay down low, grit and grind. That's not the league we live in anymore. That's not the NBA we play in anymore. What you have to be able to do as a center is be able to facilitate and also be able to shoot the perimeter and shoot the 3. Forward position, the power forward position, is a little safer because if you're bulkier like Giannis but still lean, you can still have athletic ability. You can still get to the cup. You can still do all of these things and play great basketball without being a traditional center. But Giannis got a mid-range. Giannis can somewhat shoot the 3 ball. These guys who are 6'11", who are 7 foot, these guys saw the unicorn archetype begin to take over. And we're not going to dive into it too much in this video, but same thing with the point guard position. No point guard is going to be under 6'5" going forward. Trae Young is going to be the last great basketball player at the guard position under 6'3". Everybody else is getting taller, they're getting bigger, and they're realizing instead of having the traditional, our guard is our smaller person like Rondo, and then we're going to have a center like a Kendrick Perkins, those days are over. Kendrick Perkins would not exist in today's NBA just off of the fact that he can't space out the floor. If you're a center and you can't space out the floor, you're completely obsolete on the defensive end because you're not going to be able to be useful in pick and roll switches because you can't guard past the free throw line. And on offense, you're not going to give any type of threat from the perimeter or the three line, so you're probably clogging up the paint for your guard. I'm not saying these guys don't have a role. I'm not saying Kevon Looney, Steven Adams, I'm not saying these guys don't have a role as a role player, but when it comes to being extremely integral in winning NBA basketball, they're exploitable on the pick and roll. They're very one-dimensional on offense, and on top of that, they're not going to be a premium for money. That's why Jaren Jackson Jr. averages more three-point shots than rebounds per game. And that's a whole other commentary on Jaren Jackson Jr., but he just got a bag. What I'm saying is centers are realizing if I can't shoot the three, if I can't shoot the two, if I can't handle the ball, I'm going to be obsolete. And that is because positionless basketball and having people that can do facilitation, dribbling, and shooting at all positions is going to kill the center. With that being said, though, guys, that is going to do it for us today. Again, as always, if you enjoyed the content, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Follow all of our socials in the description for more Rois, more Joachim, more Samajai, more Daniel, more Marcus. Also, make sure to smash that follow on the Instagram and the TikTok. 100 subscribers special already happened on this channel, but 100 followers special for the Instagram and TikTok is coming up soon as well. Again, as always, if you enjoyed the content, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and let us know your thoughts on this video in the comments, and we will see you all in the next one.